both addresses
They're-
on
they
there
are-
and get the.
I'm
Just
confident,
curious.
yeah, no, I'm totally confident they're using all that. The planning commissioner showed me what he was going through, and it was an overlay of basically what they had. And the census already has a lot of information on file. The census does surveys, it doesn't just do surveys every 10 years. They did a survey in 2018, they're smaller surveys, but nevertheless, there are surveys that way. But I keep emphasizing it's really important that we get whoever's easy to count, because there are gonna be things that are gonna slip through, and we wanna be able to concentrate as much on them. So I'll be in the census, and I will be in contact with the supervisor, with the towns. As this process goes through, for example, we may say, is there any area in the town that's had a substantial development in the last year or two that we should focus on? Are there migrant workers on farms somewhere that we know about, that we need to make sure they get counted? So this is gonna be a true partnership. We're gonna need everyone's help to do this. And also, I should say, the census is hiring, and that's a really big important. It's a big ramp up. They need to hire a lot of people. The hourly rate in this area is about $18 to $21. It's very flexible hours. You could basically pick your own hours. And that's information I could also share through the supervisor. But that's a really important component of it. Sequentially, that's a very important component of it. That's kind of where we are now. So.
Could I ask a question?
Sure.
If somebody refuses to answer a question on the census, will that still go through?
Thanks for bringing it up. I really appreciate that. And when the citizenship question was,
Right,
when I was told I was getting this gig, there was a chance that question was going to be on the
Right.
on the form. So I reached out to the census. I said, "How are you? What do I tell people if this question goes on the form?" And their answer was the answer I was hoping that they'd give. They said, while we encourage everyone to fill out every question on the form, we would be remiss in saying that and not saying that if you decide to leave a question off, your census, in all likelihood, would count. What they really need is the number of people living there and their names. And then there's really not a lot of information on the census. Doesn't get into income. It doesn't. It's a lot of people. I have the form with me. It's not a very complicated form. It gets more complicated it really is if you have 9 people living in your house compared to 2, because you got to fill it out for everyone. Thank you for asking that question.
Anyone else? Thank you so much,
Sure.
John.
And through you, they can get a hold of me, or if
Absolutely.
they have the complete count, if there's anything, if you have any questions as we go. So I appreciate your time.
I'm
Thanks.
glad to have heard it a second time, because we heard it at mayors and supervisors.
Did I do better this time?
No, yes, you did. You were great both times.
Thanks.
I had to write it into the minutes, so I.
Oh,
got it.
good. All right, thanks a lot. I'm gonna break this down, so I don't want to
Okay,
interrupt you
we'll
guys.
go on, but
Okay,
just don't feel bad about breaking it down.
okay.
So we're going on to Warren, and we have the resolution to authorizing the town clerk to waive the fee for marriage license certificate when either of the parties making application for such certificate is a member of the Armed Forces of the United States on active duty. And Warren sent this to us earlier. Whereas the current license fee for a marriage license charged by the town clerk is $40, with $17.50 representing the town's share of that fee and $22.50 representing the state's share of that fee. And whereas subdivision 3 of section 14A of the Domestic Relations Law has been amended by chapter 297 of the laws of 1963 to provide in relevant part that a town may elect to waive the fee for a marriage certificate when either of the parties making application for such certificate is a member of the Armed Forces of the United States on active duty, and whereas the town board has determined to waive such fee, now therefore be it resolved that the town clerk is hereby directed to waive the town's portion of the marriage certificate fee when either of the parties seeking application for such certificate is a member of the Armed Forces of the United States on active duty.
I make a motion.
You're only waiving the town's portion?
The town's portion.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
You have to do a voice vote.
Yep. I think so.
Supervisor Cloud?
Aye.
Bartle?
Aye.
Chase?
Aye.
Zick?
Aye.
All right.
So you're only waiving, if I'm reading this correctly, the $7.50?
$17.50, right?
No, the town doesn't get $17.50. Town gets $7.50.
$7.50?
Yeah,
Whatever it is, I mean,
Okay.
that's the portion you're waiving. This is
okay.
the same form everybody's enacting, so.
Okay.
It's no different for Pine Plains than it is for anybody.
So what do you usually charge?
Yeah, what do we charge $40 and give,
Or do you
Yeah.
charge $30 or $40?
No, $40 is charged,
Mhm.
$17.50 goes to the state. And the other $7.50,
well,
the
there's a lot,
$7.50 is to the town, and $10 is to the registrar.
Whatever the tax portion is.
the
That's-
town's portion.
is
The town's portion,
$7.50.
that's the one, that's
All
right,
right.
whatever that is.
Well,
Well, what we could do is, we just passed this, but, we'll just have to say the town's portion of the fee.
That's what
Let me
it
see
does
the
say.
form,
Mm.
this is like, let me just take a look at this.
So whether you typically.
17, isn't it's not 1750, the town's portion?
Well, that
No, that
includes
goes
it.
to the state.
Well, they're saying that the $10 that you get is probably, that's probably what it's saying, is
Yeah.
that the registrar $10 is waived.
Yeah, I think it's
Because
the
that's the
entire
town
1750.
Portion, yeah,
I would pass this, and then if you have any questions, just check with
Right.
some of the other clerks, see what they're doing.
okay,
Or the Association of Towns could, I mean, that's the one everybody's been passing.
okay.
Okay,
It's the same.
So we'll
resolution.
find out what that involves.
Yeah,
All right.
17.
all right,
Thank
I'll
you.
contact the other clerk.
I have some questions for you from the, police department, but when we get to John, we can ask them, okay?
Okay.
That was Rory and that.
All right, so on to, did you have
And I
anything
didn't, no, I didn't have
Oh.
anything, but I do have a couple of things that we have to discuss. in
for executive session, yes, great. Highway department,
Mine report's pretty quick and easy this month. We're getting all of the vehicles and equipment serviced and inspected for the upcoming winter season. We finish up the last of our shimming on the roads, and we'll be working on some blacktopping in the garage parking lot. We're working on that drain that I sent you all a letter about, and trying to shim that up, because we do have a very low spot in the parking lot
Did you
as well.
figure out what caused that?
No, we did not open up that whole area. That was why I sent
So
the
you're
letter.
just raising it back up?
Right, we're raising the depression in the parking lot up. We've actually dug around the drain to make sure that the grate wasn't collapsing and the catch basin was in good shape and everything is okay
Mhm.
there. But the pipe that goes from the basin into the building, that would be part of our building improvements when and if we do that. So I didn't wanna go poking around right now, until we did that. So what we're going to do is just a minimal bringing that area back up to
Getting rid of
level.
the pond, getting rid of the ice skating.
Yeah, and the possibility of a plow getting caught in there or plowing the yard this winter. 'Cause if we get stuck in there, it's gonna cause a problem.
How long have we been seeing that depression? Is it sudden?
I think that over the past year, it's gotten worse. Yeah, it's definitely something that's, that we need to, and I'm sure Ray can speak to this, we need to look into that whole
Yeah,
drain
I was gonna say,
system.
we need to take a look at that, cause last time I was there, which was about at least a year ago, if not a little bit more, I don't remember a large depression.
No, it's definitely
So
following,
I'll take a look.
Yeah,
over
is
the
there
next
some
week or
reason,
so.
something is collapsed or
Yeah.
separated, that's what I'm
Yeah.
afraid of. You might lose a truck in it.
the pipe is not utilized, but it does, I mean, there's the plug in there.
Right.
The water is allowed to get to the pipe from the melt off from the vehicles, and it stays in there. We do have it sucked out, when we do our catch basin maintenance, which I think was 2 or 3 years ago, so it hasn't been cleaned out, or hadn't been sucked out in a couple of years. So,
I'll stop out and see if we can take a look at it.
okay. The CHIPS reimbursement request to the state has been sent in for the projects that have been completed this year, as well as for the partial expenses that we incurred this year, for projects that are going to be completed next year, if that makes any sense to you. I'm trying to get as much as we can now for the expenses that we've undertaken, but some of that is for projects that I plan to finish next year. So the total amount that we've submitted for reimbursement is $115,589.47. So that should be coming in, I believe the payment should be issued in December, so it will happen this budget year. Our new laborer started last week and things are going very well. Just wanted to ask you about the brush pile. I'm not sure if we brought that up last meeting when I wasn't here, but do we have any plans for getting that tub grinder in again on that pile?
We don't,
Specific.
but-
It's getting pretty big. We did push it back because we thought that the state was going to utilize that area for stockpiling material. So it's pushed closer to the grass right now, so it doesn't look as big as it normally is because we've really pushed it together, but it's growing quite large. So it's something that I think we should start thinking about, definitely trying to get the tub grinder in on that. The only other thing